Hey, it's Jeremiah Rangel, and in this video, I'm going to teach you 10 things you didn't know about your mind, which is very important because the better you understand your mind and use it to your advantage, the easier fulfilling your purpose of helping others will be. And have you ever asked yourself these questions? Where is my mind? Or what about, what is my mind? Have you ever considered that the more you know and understand about your mind, the easier and more fulfilling your life would be? Well, you're going to really want to pay close attention when you watch this video because I'm going to give you the cheat code to understanding and maximizing your incredible mind. In this video, there are 10 parts of your mind that I'm going to teach you and explain it to you in a way that will light up your soul because you deserve to know this incredibly valuable information. The better you understand your mind, the easier your life is, period. But before I get into these 10 key factors of your mind, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and give this video a like if you enjoy learning about yourself so you can fulfill your purpose quicker. But let's get into your mind. Your mind is an ancient mind. It was created a long time ago for the purpose for you to learn, to grow, and to create so you can build a life of freedom, happiness, and fulfillment. Everyone is born with a mind, but I'm going to teach you what they don't teach you in school, which is what most successful people do and what they study to better themselves so they can win at the game of life. I've coached thousands of clients and I've trained hundreds of coaches. And I can tell you with 100% total certainty that the difference between people who succeed and people who fail is how much they understand their mind and use it to their advantage. But let's get into the 10 aspects first so I can give you the big picture and then I'll go into depth with each one of them. Here are 10 things your mind is either made up of or influences your mind. Number 1, your conscious mind. Number 2, your unconscious mind. Number 3, your subconscious mind, which is different than your unconscious mind. Number 4, your neo. 5, your ego. 6, consciousness itself. 7, there's the collective consciousness. 8, there's the collective unconsciousness. 9, there's your higher self. And then 10, your lower self. Now, I know this may sound like a lot at first, but rest assured, I will break these down for you so you can understand them in a simple way. You may need to watch this video several times. Better yet, you might want to enroll in one of my courses to get the full understanding. But let's begin. Number 1 is your conscious mind. Your conscious mind is the smallest part of your mind that only governs what you are consciously focusing on in any given moment. It's whatever is on the screen of your mind's eye right now. So right now, if you're watching this video, it could be you're listening to the sound of my voice, or it could be you're looking at what I wrote for you on the screen. But you're not thinking about what's in your back left pocket. You're not thinking about how much you weigh right now in kilograms. I could go on and on and on. So you're only focused on a limited amount at any given time with your conscious mind. The conscious mind is limited to what you are consciously aware of right now. In a computer metaphor, your conscious mind is what is on the computer screen. There's so much more that goes behind the scenes. There's internet, there's the files, there's the storage. None of that, it has to do with the conscious mind. The conscious mind is limited to whatever is on the screen in the metaphor of a computer, and it's only what you're focusing on in any given moment. It's extremely important to be conscious of things. Things need to come up to the conscious level a lot of times to heal, to upgrade, to change your mindset. But there's so much more going on behind the scenes, and this is just one aspect of your mind when there's so much more that goes on behind the scenes with it. The conscious mind is the starting entry point to understanding your mind. Number 2 is your unconscious mind. Now, your unconscious mind is the largest part of your mind. It's the storehouse, the storage of all of your memories, your mental programs, which is what's behind your behaviors, what drives your behaviors, your beliefs, and your values. It's your mental operating system And anchoring through your unconscious mind is one of 3 different ways you program your mental operating system. The other 2 are your subconscious mind and divine intervention, which I will get into. The unconscious mind is limited by everything you've experienced so far. So again, the conscious mind is whatever's on the screen or whatever you're focusing on right now, but you're aware of so much more consciously than you know you are right now. Your unconscious mind has all of that. That's where things are stored. Memories, beliefs, experiences come up to the conscious level onto the screen. In a way, the unconscious mind is, each memory is like a video or a picture, and then whatever is on the screen. If you think of like a movie screen, whatever the film gets projected into the screen of your eye, that all comes from the unconscious mind. So in the computer metaphor, your unconscious mind is all of your files, programs, pictures and videos, all of your memories, experiences, beliefs, all of that. So the unconscious mind is quite a bit different, quite a bit larger than the conscious mind. They have 2 different functions. Next, number 3, we have your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind, 3%, is slightly larger than your conscious mind, which is about 1% of your mind, but much smaller than your unconscious mind, which we talked about, which is about 96%. So your mind really has 3 different components to it. There's other factors, which we'll get into, that influence it, but there's really 3 main components of your mind. The subconscious mind is a smaller section of your mind that governs repetition. And repetition is one of 3 ways which you program your mental operating system. The other 2 being anchoring through the unconscious mind and divine intervention through the higher conscious. It is divine energy, but divine intervention through the higher consciousness, which we will get into. One of the most effective ways to consciously program your unconscious programs is only limited by your knowledge and imagination. It's one of the most effective ways to do it, but it's only limited to what you know and what you can think of. In the computer metaphor, your subconscious mind is the actual programming itself or coding of your mental operating system. Coding through repetition. The more you repeat something, it gets stored in your unconscious mind. But the subconscious mind repetition, starting the file and then repeating, you get better and better and better, whatever it is you think or do. This is called subconscious mind training. It's extremely important to know because you can program your mind positively or negatively, consciously or unconsciously, but either way you're going to get programmed. So you better be the one to chooses to decide what programs go in, what one leaves. And again, if you need help, you reach out, you team up, you work with me or one of my coaches, or you take one of our trainings and we got your back. We'll teach you the way. Number 4, now we're moving on to your Neo. Your Neo is your true self. It's the part of you, I want you to focus now, listen to what I'm saying. You might need to watch this a few times and listen a few times. It's the part of you that your creator created to both fully experience itself through you and for you to fully experience your creator through it. Yes, it's a little bit of a mind twister for your conscious mind. Your unconscious mind knows exactly what I'm saying. We're going to do a little subconscious mind repetition. I'm going to say it one more time. Your Neo is your true self, and it's the part of you that your creator created to both 2 reasons. Number 1, to fully experience itself through you, and for you to fully experience yourself, your creator, through it. So it's the uniquely authentic you were born with before your ego began. The ego, which we're going to get into next, generally starts around the age of 2. That's why we hear the terrible 2s. It's really the ego has now entered, the program has started, and there's a lot of resistance, and that's a whole nother conversation, a whole nother video. In the computer metaphor, your Neo is the computer's natural programmer. If the subconscious mind training or subconscious mind repetition is programming. And then we do anchoring through the unconscious mind. Anchoring meaning you attach a meaning to a thing. Like you have at this age of your life, if you're watching this video, you know how you feel about oranges. You know how you feel about grapefruits. You know how you feel about 100 degrees or 40 degrees Fahrenheit. 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 degrees Celsius. I think they're pretty comparable, but you're really, really hot where you just go outside and sweat. You know how you feel about sports teams and which specifically sports teams. If you watch sport teams, or I mean, I can go on and on and on, but you know how you feel about things. And in this metaphor, your Neo is your natural computer's programmer. So it's the one that's meant to do the programming. It's what an ideal, successful, healthy, connected person does to program their mind consciously for success and for winning and fulfillment. That's what that is, which is extremely important for you to get to know your Neo. Next, we're moving on to number 5, the ego. Your ego is your false self. It's the main mental program that your creator created for you to fully experience being separate from your creator and to test you to see how much you really truly want to be one with your creator when no one else is looking, and it is one of your biggest teachers in your lifetime. It's the inauthentic imposter program of you. You are ultimately meant to learn from the ego, what it does, what you shouldn't do with it, fully accept it, and then dissolve it with and only with the help of your creator, God, infinite intelligence. In a computer metaphor, your ego is a corrupt program that has been uploaded in your mind around the terrible twos, and it's trying to take your identity. It's acting as if it is you, causing nothing but suffering, and it's hacking in and trying to unnaturally program your mental operating system. I spent a little bit more time about the ego because the ego is very misunderstood. I don't mean for you to take away that the ego is the worst thing ever and it's evil and it's terrible. It's not those things. Yes, divisive energy and evil can come through and only come through an ego. Yes, that is true. But all ego doesn't mean necessarily evil or dark. But all ego does mean independent from the source, which 100% of the time for 100% of people causes suffering. So just be aware when you're listening to this and learning about the ego that your ego doesn't, which it will, inevitably 100%, it will grab a hold on to what I'm saying and it will say, yeah, that ego is the worst thing. Let's kill it. Let's get rid of it. And that's nothing more than the ego trying to cause a fight with the ego so the ego continues to exist. Beware of that trick and that trap. But that is the ego in a nutshell. And each one of these we can go hours and hours into, which we do in different trainings that we have. So we're at the halfway point, and I'm just really curious of what's standing out to you so far. What questions do you have? What ahas and light bulbs are going off in your head when you're watching 1 through 5? And let us see where 6 through 10 leads us. But now we roll right into consciousness. Consciousness, simply put, is awareness itself. You might need to really contemplate on that one. Consciousness is what you are. Listen to the words I'm saying. You are not a who, you are a what. And what you are is the space between your thoughts. What? Yep. Can you say that again? Absolutely, I got your back. You are not a who, so whatever you think you are as far as the ego goes, you are not that, you are more than that. But you are not a who, you are a what. And what you are is the space between your thoughts. You really have to go inside. You really have to calm yourself to consider what I'm saying, to become aware of what I'm saying. Consciousness is the essence of the Neo. In the computer metaphor, consciousness is the idea of the computer itself. Computer has some sort of monitor, has some sort of hard drive, has some sort of like plug-in or Wi-Fi to the internet, right? There's components to it. But where did the internet come from? Where did computers come from? Where do ideas come from? Ideas come from consciousness. So it's extremely important. And I'm going to break it down even more, make it simpler as we go on. Number 7, collective consciousness. Collective consciousness is the total sum of humanity's knowledge, intelligence, and lessons learned thus far. In the computer metaphor, collective consciousness is the internet's how-tos, positive resources, and anything that helps each other become better. This is what the collective consciousness is. As human beings, we get ideas from the creator, from consciousness itself, and they're stored and they're available to us, and they can come through the collective consciousness. They can come directly through our beings, ideas, inspirations, new things that the world's never seen before but exist previously. Or we can tap into those ideas from the collective consciousness. We'll get into the collective unconsciousness in a second. But the collective consciousness is a storehouse of the greatness that humanity has learned, discovered, and realized, which is really important to tap into. And that's where all great ideas come from, except if they come directly from the source. Next, we have number 8, collective unconsciousness. Now, collective unconsciousness is the total sum of humanity's ignorance, judgments, and egoic points of view. In the computer metaphor, collective unconsciousness is the internet's porn, mindless scrolling, unwanted ads that does a really great job of helping people drift far away from fulfilling of their life's purpose. So like the collective consciousness, if you ever Googled something, if you ever went into, let's say, YouTube, and you looked for a video, how to build this, how to solve this, how to do this, that's great. Somebody put their love, their time, their energy, maybe their money into that for you to help you out. Made them feel good, made you feel good. Well, there's other things that are on the internet that causes distraction, drifting, divisive energy can come through an anchor. So that is what the collective unconsciousness is. Just like we could cyberly either Google something or Google something and something different. Well, we also can think something or something different. We can tap into something or something different. And we have completely total freedom and choice over it. It's just if you don't know that you have choice and freedom, and there's a program that's running the show that was created by the ego, separate from the source that created you, you're going to have issues. You're going to want to solve that. Get to the root cause, team up with a coach like myself or one of the people I recommend on my team, and we will help you do that. And actually, you can even teach you how to do it for yourself or other people as well. But this is really important. It's big deal stuff. That's why people study this, to be able to succeed, because life is very complex and dynamic, and there's a lot of things that we all need to solve and have resources to be able to be successful in life. And if we don't, those are the people that fail. The people that do, they find a way. This is the way. Next, number 9, we have your higher self. Your higher self is the creator of creation itself. Your higher self is your future self that has evolved far beyond where you are at right now in your life. In the computer metaphor, your higher self created the computer screen, all the files, and everything stored within it, the internet itself, the awareness to discover the internet. It simply is all that is, was, or ever will be. So you can have total freedom to choose how you want to relate to your higher self. You can relate it to in the image of you or mankind, humanity, however you want to do it. There's the divine mother, there's the divine father, there's the divine parents. There's a lot of different ways to do it. It should be done technically in a personal way. And if you relate to it in any way, shape, or form and it's somewhere in space far away, it's not going to work. Try using your computer while your computer's on the moon, and then you are right here. Try having a really great relationship with somebody. They're on the moon. Like, date an astronaut while they're out in outer space and see how close you guys feel. So you really need to have a really close relationship. And some people related to it as God, infinite intelligence, the creator, the source. Some people relate to it as your future self that's more evolved. Because think about it for a moment. If everything came from the source, and that's where the source of everything is our past, and the source of everything is also our future. So we came from ourselves in a way, from the source. The source can't create anything outside of itself. But then we're headed towards back to ourselves. So you can relate to it as your future self, your more evolved self, because eventually that's the goal, that's the mission, that's the trajectory that we're headed, is to be one with the source that created us. And finally, number 10, lower self or parts. Your lower self are parts of you that were left behind in the past because you didn't have the ability, you lack the ability and resourcefulness to receive the lesson that opportunity gave you, and it caused a separation between you and yourself. A part of you got fractionized. Your lower self is operating independently from your neo and higher self, and needs both your neo and higher self to team up to rescue that part of you so you can be integrated as one total being. You need your neo, your present self, your higher self, future self, divine, and the younger self. The three need to come into one. There's a real big key that I just gave you. In the computer metaphor, your lower self are old programs, beliefs, right, mentally, but they're old files, they're old programs that must be updated because they are no longer compatible with your current operating system. They're obsolete, and your current software can't run it. There's going to be bugs. Anytime you guys see you do a phone or a computer and you have apps, and sometimes they won't work unless you upgrade or update the app or update your computer. You do have to do that with your mind as well. You do it with your computer. The whole mind itself was created off the whole computers themselves, the model, conscious mind, unconscious mind, higher consciousness, computer screen, files, internet. Computers were created from the model of the mind. I don't know if you knew that, but that's where it comes from psychology, actually. So you do need to upgrade parts of your old programs and integrate, rescue parts of your younger self in order to move forward into the future. It's fascinating stuff, and it's amazing, and here we are. I'm going to give you a little bit of bonus broken down between the psychological world and the spiritual world and in between. So I'm going to go really high level with this, but the psychological world consists of your conscious mind, unconscious mind, subconscious mind, and lower self parts. The spiritual world is your neo, consciousness itself, higher self. In between is ego, collective consciousness, collective unconsciousness. Now, why do I say that it's in between? Well, the ego is a psychological program, but it impacts you spiritually. So that's why I kind of say it's in between, even though it is a psychological program. The collective consciousness has greatness in there, but also ingenuity, things that human beings have discovered and learned, but with the help of the source. And the collective unconsciousness is the programs that they learned without the help of the source. And it does impact you spiritually. So that's, and physically and psychologically in all ways. So that's why I put it there. And as you grow in consciousness, I put one more step down is, let's say you get to the point where you dissolve the ego. What happens is lower selves goes away because everything becomes integrated. Ego goes away. Collective unconsciousness is not an option to connect into it anymore, and you have the blue remaining, which is something pretty fascinating, pretty interesting. So thanks for watching my video, and I know that you cannot take all of my 250,000 hours of studying, everything I've studied, and put into one video. But if you really want to understand your mind and yourself better so you can live the best possible life, you're going to want to take one of our courses where I walk you through step by step understanding how your mind works and how your higher self integrates with it and how you can help people and bring more light into the world. Subscribe for more videos just like this one, and let me know in the comments below what was your biggest golden nuggets that you received by watching this video. You'll find a link in the description in this video to schedule a time to meet with myself or Amanda if you want to set up a time to find what's the best course for you. Until the next time, I will see you in the next video.